G'day mates, Paul.K.Dragon here. It's time for another review. Now, 2 years ago, I reviewed the Call of Duty multiplayer. Some Call of Duties are okay. Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3 are still my favorite games, but every now and then I would like to try other multiplayer FPSs, like Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which was okay, and Battlefield 1, which still is awesome. But games like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and Fortnite can downright suck it. But today, it's time to look at a new multiplayer FPS game, or third-person shooter game. And since I got the Nintendo Switch, this would be my first review on a Nintendo Switch console. It's time to talk about Splatoon 2. Now, if you started playing this game with a Call of Duty mindset, well, you're in for a rough ride here. Splatoon 2 is about covering your turf with your ink, from blue, green, yellow, pink, all sorts of colors. And in a game like Turf War, that's what you and your team will try to do. Cover most of your map with your ink for 2 minutes. After time is up, the team with the most turf covered is declared the winner, where you get money and experience points. You can buy different gear from the main hub in Goblops, from shoes, shirts, and hats. You can even buy new weapons from splatter shots, blasters, and rollers, and more. I do like the new look the clothes bring you, but I also have one problem with them. Randomized perks. Now in other shooters, perks give players add abilities like reload faster, move quicker, and so on. When you level up your gear, you'll be given a random perk, which if you don't like the perk loadout the game chose for you, you could spend a chunk load of your change, scrub the gear, and start from scratch. This is a bit of a problem in Splatoon 1. It wasn't easy getting that perfect loadout for your gear alone. You have to spend a new kind of currency called Super Sea Snails, which you can reroll perks and hopefully get what you want. You get Super Sea Snails during Splatfest in Splatoon 1, and you can also get them from Judd if your victory rate is high enough. In Splatoon 2, this is mitigated a bit. By scrubbing your gear, you get ability chunks. If you save up about 10, 20, or 30 ability chunks, mostly the same one, you can apply them to your gear. But this requires a junk load of grinding. There are perk drinks that can increase your chances of getting that perk when you level up your gear, but it's not 100% guaranteed, so I wouldn't recommend it. Now, there are some changes to the multiplayer, like you can now customize your gear in between games, but you can't change your gear while in the lobbies. Weird. In ranked matches, each game mode has its own rank, compared to the last game, which all game modes share one rank, like in the first game. There are some changes I hate though, like how the map is handled in Splatoon 2. Now, I didn't mind the map in the first Splatoon, because all it takes is just a quick glance at the Wii U gamepad. In Splatoon 2, however, rather than having a mini-map at the corner of the screen, which would be the smartest thing for the developers to do at this point, they have the entire map smack dab right in the middle of the screen, obstructing your view and making multiplayer a pain in the neck to deal with. Why couldn't they make the map transparent? So that way we could be easier to see both the map and what's in front of the player. Better yet, why not just hold the button to bring up the map rather than just toggling it? Seriously, when you bring that map out, you're just asking, begging for an enemy player to get the jump on you and get splatted. I wish they would have had a mini-map at the corner of the screen or having the map transparent, so it would make things easier for the player. After all, this is the third-person shooter, not Five Nights at Freddy's. Speaking of maps, I also do not like that we can only play 2 maps and they rotate every 2 hours. And I wish there were more than 2, cause you're most likely to be stuck playing on the same map over and over again until the next rotation starts. Like the time I have to play Moray Towers 5 times in a row. Also, look here. It looks like there should be a third map there, but no, it's just a giant empty space. I also wish they could give the player more communication options. No, I'm not talking about voice chat. That's what Skype and Discord is for. I'm talking about this. I wish there were more options other than this way and booyah. You use the up and down on the directional buttons to use them, but left and right are not used for anything else. Why not use the left and right to cycle through more communication options? Like, careful, sniper, enemy ahead, be careful, sneak attack, go go go, enemies attacking our turf, retreat, and two of my favorites, do a barrel roll, and get over here! Other than multiplayer, there's also the new Salmon Run mode. I love Salmon Run. It's great. You have a team of 4 people and your objective is to defeat bosses and collect golden eggs before either the time expires or all of your teammates kick the bucket. This mode is great. You see a new variety of enemies and requires different strategies to beat them, and it gets harder every time you rank up. There's just one little thing I hate about this mode though. It's on a time schedule. Seriously, why? Call of Duty Zombie Mode didn't do this, Gears of War 2 Horde Mode didn't do this, so why Splatoon 2? I'm guessing it's to imitate a working environment in that mode, but still, that's no reason to put a time schedule on it. It's dumb. If you're gonna satisfy the consumer, then you make the fun mode permanent, not available at certain times. The campaign follows the same plot as the first game. The great Zapfish has disappeared, you must go save. I see this game likes to follow a certain trend. But not only is this great Zapfish disappeared, Mario has gone missing. I mean Callie. The campaign is broken into several sectors. You must complete each level and then you can take on the boss in order to advance. The highlight of the campaign are definitely the bosses. The developers keep making the bosses really interesting and they're fun to fight. If that wasn't enough, you can even get more challenges with the Octo expansion, where there's more levels and some of them are really hard. But if you feel like the stage is giving you a tough time, you could just easily skip the level. If you beat the Octo expansion, you'll have the ability to play as an Octoling. A pretty cool reward, and it's much better than completing the Octo expansion to 100%. Seriously? All that trouble for a gold hairpin? Yeah, no thanks. My thoughts on Splatoon 2 are rather mixed. There are some good things about the game, but the game does have its fair share of problems, and they're too hard to ignore. I'm sorry. I just wish the developers would have time to listen to the feedback, maybe from this review, and hopefully made the game a bit better. I would love to see a multiplayer match involving Salmon Run. The maps are perfect for it too. Seriously, 2 teams of 4 and a race to see who can get the golden eggs the most? That would be great. I just hope Salmon Run's not on a stupid time schedule. And I wish there were an easy way to get the perks you want rather than just grinding for it. Like, say for example, have a special meal or a new drink that when you level up your gear, you can actually pick the perk you want rather than being a random RNG thing. I would also like to see the map changed, like making it transparent so it'd be easier for the player to see the map and see what's right in front of them. And I would love to see 3 maps per rotation instead of 2. You know, more variety, you know? Above all that, I'd say this game is average. Not bad. It's not Game of the Year material either. It's just average at best. I wish it could have been better though. If you're gonna play Splatoon 2, make sure you got some online friends that have Splatoon 2 as well. It would be much more fun that way, considering you could just contact them through Skype and Discord and have a blast. But if you're gonna get this game for yourself, I'd say wait for a price drop. Don't get it at full price. I don't think it's worth that much. But this has been Paul.K.Dragon. I hope you guys enjoy yourself, and if you want to add me on Nintendo Switch, my friend code is in the description of the video. Happy gaming!